Welcome to Windows 3.1. This is Module 2, Intermediate to Advanced. In this module, you'll learn how to start Windows applications, open a document in a Windows application, and run more than one application at a time. You'll also learn how to start and use non-Windows applications, work on multiple tasks at once, and share data between applications. You'll learn how to set the computer's date and time. You'll learn how to work with files, work with directories, use the Windows File Manager, create and delete files, and copy and move files between directories. Finally, you'll learn how to use Windows desktop accessories. First, here's an important note about using Windows with this course. Windows operates at different power levels or modes depending on your computer system. Computers with at least a 386 processor and 2 megabytes or more of memory operate in a special enhanced mode and can complete all the procedures in this module. If your computer has less power or memory, you may not be able to complete all the procedures. As we explained in the introduction, Windows is a powerful program with a unique job. Windows makes it easy to work with applications. An application is a software program designed for or applied to a specific task. For example, a word processing application lets us write and edit documents, such as reports, memos, and newsletters. In short, applications expand the power of your computer so you can accomplish a wide variety of tasks quickly and efficiently. There is a unique group of applications designed especially for Windows called Windows Applications. Windows applications are specially designed to offer the same easy-to-use graphical environment as the main Windows program. Some examples of Windows applications include Microsoft Word for Windows, a word processing application, and Microsoft Excel for Windows, a spreadsheet application. There are many other Windows applications available. However, you're not just limited to Windows applications. One of the nice features of Windows is that it lets you work with all types of applications, both Windows and non-Windows. One important note before we begin. During this module, we'll use a number of different Windows and non-Windows applications. If you don't have these applications, don't worry. The techniques you'll learn can be applied to most any application. With this understanding of applications, let's begin Lesson 1 of this module. We'll first show you how to start a Windows application from the Program Manager. In this lesson, you'll learn to use both Windows and non-Windows applications on your computer. First, we start up the Windows program on our computer. We won't be using the main group window right now, so we minimize it. We double-click on the Applications group icon to open the group window. We want to open the Microsoft Word application, so we double-click on the Word icon. In a moment, the Word application is started. Our Word window opens maximized, covering the desktop. You don't need to know Word to finish this lesson. Instead, we'll focus on some basic Windows skills that can be applied to virtually any Windows application. We open the File menu by clicking on the File menu heading. We can use the same procedure to open any menu in Word. We click on the Open command, and the Open dialog box appears. We want to open a file on a disk in Drive A, so we click on the down arrow in the Drives box to view the other drive options. We click on A: to select Drive A. In a moment, the names of the Word files on the disk appear in the File Name box. We want to open the sales projection file, so we double-click on the file name. Our document now appears in the Word window. As you've just seen, using a Windows application is much the same as using Windows itself. A major benefit of Windows is its ability to run more than one application at a time. Having more than one application running allows us to quickly switch from one application to another. For example, first, to reduce clutter on our desktop, we minimize our Word window. The Word application is still running, but it's now displayed as an icon at the bottom of our desktop. For our second Windows application, we'll open Microsoft Excel, a spreadsheet application. We double-click on the Excel icon. In a moment, the Excel window appears. To open the pull-down menus and access commands in Excel, we use the same point and click procedure we've already shown you. On our computer, we currently have several applications or tasks running on our desktop. Those tasks include Microsoft Excel, the Program Manager, and Microsoft Word. Windows allows us to switch easily between those tasks. One way to switch between tasks is to simply switch windows. In other words, we can click on the window containing the application we want. However, the window we want may be covered up by other windows, so clicking to make a window active wouldn't be possible. Another way to switch tasks is by using a tool called the task list. We'll use it now to switch from the active application, Microsoft Excel, to the application we opened previously, Microsoft Word. To open the task list, we open the Control menu in the Excel window. The Switch To command is near the bottom of the menu. We select it. When we do, the task list box is displayed. The box offers a number of choices. We can choose to switch to another application, to end a task, or to cancel the task list, among other choices. The task list box also lists all the applications currently running. Notice that our active task, the Excel application, is listed first and is highlighted. We can use this list to switch to other applications. To switch to Microsoft Word, we simply double-click on the application name. When we do, the Word window is automatically opened and brought to the foreground. We now have several windows open on our desktop. To organize our desktop, we'll use the Cascade command from the task list. To do so, we open the task list once more, using the Control menu in our active window. Then we click on Cascade. Each window is now neatly cascaded on our desktop. We've learned how to use applications designed especially for the graphical Windows environment. However, there are applications which are not designed for Windows. As you might guess, we call these non-Windows applications. Non-Windows applications have their own systems of entering commands and information which are different from Windows. There may be some non-Windows applications on your computer right now. Even though these applications are not designed for Windows, you can still start and use them with Windows. We click on the Program Manager window to make it active. We'll work with the word processing application called WordPerfect. We double-click on the WordPerfect icon to start the application. In a moment, the WordPerfect screen is displayed, covering the full desktop. Since this is a non-Windows version of WordPerfect, it has no Windows title bar, buttons, and so on. Notice that with WordPerfect covering the entire desktop, no Windows features such as windows or icons are displayed. The Windows features are not available at this time. This is because we have a non-Windows application running full screen. We'll open a document from the disk in Drive A in this non-Windows application. To do so, we click the right mouse button to display the WordPerfect menu bar. Then, we open the File menu and select the Retrieve command. Next, WordPerfect asks us what document we want to retrieve. At the prompt, we type the name of the directory and document we want. We press Enter, and in a moment, WordPerfect retrieves our document. We've now opened a document in a non-Windows application and completed the procedures in this lesson. You've learned how to start and run Windows applications, switch between applications, start a non-Windows application, and open a document in a non-Windows application. In this lesson, you'll learn more about the powerful application features of Windows. The skills you'll gain include how to use the object linking and embedding, or OLE feature, multitask, that is, work with more than one application at a time, and exit applications. OLE is short for Object Linking and Embedding. This feature allows you to share data in one application with another application. With OLE, you can create compound documents by embedding or linking an object from one application in another application. For example, you could embed a graph from a spreadsheet program like Excel in a different application, such as a word processing application. The great thing about embedding objects is that you can then modify the objects without having to switch back to the source application. In addition, OLE lets you link objects so that changes made to one linked document will automatically be made to the other. Before we begin sharing data, we must first make sure that both the documents we need are open. Currently, WordPerfect is still displayed full screen on our computer. We can use a shortcut to switch to the Program Manager. Holding down the Alt key and pressing the Escape key switches us to another program that's running. By using this key combination, we switch to the Program Manager window. WordPerfect is minimized to an icon on the desktop. We won't be using the Program Manager for a while, so we minimize it. We'll be working with an Excel document, so we first make sure Excel is our active window. To open our first file in Excel, we display the File menu and select Open. The Open dialog box is displayed. We select Drive A and the file we want, totals.xls. The XLS extension stands for Excel Spreadsheet. We double-click and our spreadsheet opens. Now we use the same procedure to open an Excel chart. We want to open the file totals.xlc. The XLC extension stands for Excel Chart. We double-click on the document name to open it. In a moment, our totals chart is displayed. With our chart open, we're now ready to share data and demonstrate the OLE feature. The first step to sharing data is to select the data we want to share. To make working with our chart easier, let's maximize the Excel window first. The data we want to copy is the Excel chart. To select the Excel chart, we open the Chart menu and then click on Select Chart. Boxes appear around the edges of our chart showing that it's selected. We share data between applications using a Windows tool called the Clipboard. The Clipboard temporarily stores data while the data is being transferred. To use the Clipboard, we open the Edit menu and select Copy. Our chart is now surrounded by a moving broken line. This means our chart is copied to the Clipboard and is ready to be pasted where we want it. For our final step, we'll paste the data, in this case the copied chart, into its new location. Again, we want to paste the copy of our chart into a document in Word, so we'll make Word our active window. We press Alt-Escape and Word becomes our active window. We want to see our entire document, so we maximize the Word window. Next, we use the key combination Control-End to move to the end of our document, and press Enter to position our cursor where we want the chart pasted. Then we open the Edit menu. Two paste commands are listed. Paste Special is the command we want. We select Paste Special, and a dialog box appears. Here we must select the data type we want. To have access to the Paste Link feature, we must select the picture choice. We do want to link our chart to our Word document, so we'll select Picture. Finally, we click on Paste Link. In a moment, our Excel chart appears in our Word document. Now that we've copied an Excel chart to our Word document, we'll demonstrate the benefits of linking objects using OLE. Suppose we want to make a change to our chart in our Word document. Let's say, for example, that we want to change the total for the Eastern region from 135 to 50. The OLE feature makes this change easy. We don't have to switch back to Excel. We can make the change directly from Word. In our Word document, we double-click anywhere on the chart. The Excel window displays. Now we open the Window menu and click on the Totals.xls document name. The Excel spreadsheet on which our chart is based is displayed. To make our change, we type and enter 50 in the cell for the Eastern region total. Now, we use the task list to make the Word document active. We see that in the chart, the Eastern region total is now 50. The chart has been automatically updated. We just demonstrated how OLE allows you to share data between Windows documents. You can also share data between a Windows application and a non-Windows application. Your Windows manual will tell you how. Next, we're ready to demonstrate Windows' powerful multitasking features. As we said earlier, multitasking allows you to work on multiple applications simultaneously. To demonstrate how multitasking works, we'll add some data to an Excel document. At the same time, we'll print a Word document. Our Microsoft Word document is still open on the screen and ready to print. Next, we make sure our printer is properly set up and ready. Then we open the File menu and select Print. The Print dialog box appears. We click on OK to start printing our Word document. A printing message is displayed. We'll work on our Excel spreadsheet while the printer is printing our Word document. First, we minimize Word. The Excel window is again displayed. We move our pointer to where we want to enter data. Then we start inputting our new data. As we input the data, Windows continues to work on our printing job in the background. As a final procedure in this lesson, we'll show you an easy but important skill, how to exit applications and save your work. On our computer, we double-click on the Excel control menu box. When we do, a dialog box appears, asking if we want to save the changes to our open spreadsheet. We do want to save our changes, so we select Yes. Then we click on Yes to save changes to the chart. Finally, Windows lets us know that we're closing a file that has been linked to another file. We click on OK to confirm our procedure. By closing the Excel application, the files will remain linked, but the link will no longer be active. We close the Microsoft Word application by clicking on Close in the control menu. A dialog box appears, and we click on Yes to save the changes we've made in the Word document. To close a non-Windows application like our WordPerfect program, we must use the application's own exit command. We double-click on the WordPerfect icon to open WordPerfect. WordPerfect's exit command is the function key F7. On our computer, we press F7. We answer the prompts to exit WordPerfect. Now we want to exit Windows. This time we'll use the Program Manager control menu. The Program Manager icon is displayed at the bottom of our screen. We click once on the icon to open its control menu. Then we select Close. Windows lets us know we're ending the session. We click on OK. Windows closes and we're returned to our DOS prompt. You're now ready to use some of the most powerful features of Windows to share data and multitask on your computer. You've seen how to work with applications, and soon you'll see how to work with files, using the Windows File Manager. One important part of keeping track of all this work is making sure that the computer's internal clock is set to the correct date and time. All programs attach date and time information to a file. Whenever a file is saved, date and time information is also used with the clock and calendar programs, which you'll learn more about later. We can control the date and time setting with the Date and Time feature in the Windows control panel. We begin by starting Windows again. At the DOS prompt, we type WIN. Then we press Enter. After a moment, the Windows desktop is displayed. To open the control panel, we double-click on the control panel icon. To open the Date and Time feature, we double-click on that icon. A dialog box appears. The date is divided into separate segments for month, day, and year. The time is divided into segments for hours, minutes, seconds, and AM or PM. To change the date or time, we first click on the segment we want to change, for example, the hours segment. To make the change, we can either type in a new number or we can use the arrows to increase or decrease the current number. We'll use the arrows. We click once on the up arrow, and the time increases by 1 hour. Clicking again increases the time by another hour. We can use the same procedure to increase or decrease any of the date or time numbers. Since this is only a demonstration and we don't really want to change the date or time, we'll cancel out of this dialog box. Then we close the control panel by double-clicking on the control menu box. You can use the handy Date and Time feature to make sure your computer's date and time are always correct. In this lesson, you'll learn how to manage the files you create in the different applications you run on your computer. You'll learn what files and directories are, and how to organize your files and change drives. You'll work with the File Manager directory tree and copy and delete files. To begin, the terms file, subdirectory, and directory refer to places where we organize and keep work. A file is the most basic unit of organization. Every time we create a document on a computer, like a letter, report, or spreadsheet, we save our work in a file so we can find and use that work again. Directories are like large folders where we can organize files. We can organize many files and subdirectories inside a directory. Files and directories are stored on disks, either on a floppy disk or on the computer's hard disk. Windows has a special tool designed to make file management easy. That tool is called the File Manager. The File Manager is located inside the main group of the Program Manager window. It organizes directories in a special visual called the directory tree. We double-click on the File Manager icon, and in a moment the File Manager opens. Two windows are displayed. The larger window in back is the File Manager window. The smaller window up front is the directory window. The directory window is divided into two parts. The left half shows the directory tree of the current disk drive. The directory tree on our computer displays directories on the hard disk called our C drive. We can tell which drive the directory tree is displaying by looking at the drive icons below the title bar. Notice that the C drive icon has a box around it. This means that C is the current drive. Under the drive icons is the directory tree itself. At the top of the tree is a folder icon, then C:\\. This means we're looking at the root directory for drive C. The root directory is the main directory for that drive. The root directory is always displayed at the top of the directory tree and is represented by a \ symbol. Under the root directory, we see the directories that branch off from the root directory. Each folder icon represents a directory. Because the Windows directory is the current directory, the right panel currently displays all the contents of the Windows directory. To display the contents of a different directory, we simply click on a different directory icon. As we said, directories can contain files and subdirectories. Right now, we can't tell what these directories contain. We open the Tree menu. To indicate which directory branches can be expanded to show contents, we use the Indicate Expandable Branches command. When we select the command, tiny plus signs are added to some of the directory icons. The plus sign means the directory contains subdirectories. We can easily display the subdirectories. To show you, we'll expand a directory named Accounts on the disk in Drive A. To do so, we first click on the Drive A icon. The directory tree for Drive A displays, along with the contents of the root directory. Then we double-click on the Accounts folder icon. The Accounts folder in the directory tree expands its branches. We see two subdirectories named East and West. We can tell from the plus signs in these folder icons that there are subdirectories in both the East and West directories. We also see that the Accounts folder now contains a minus sign. The minus sign means that all the branches in that folder have been expanded. If a folder icon is blank, it means that the folder contains no subdirectories. It may still contain files, but no subdirectories. To expand the East subdirectory, we double-click on the folder icon, displaying subdirectories for Atlanta and Boston. To collapse the East directory, we double-click on the East folder icon again. The branches are no longer displayed on the directory tree. As we've learned, double-clicking on a directory icon expands or collapses a directory in the directory tree. Single-clicking on the directory icon only displays the contents of a directory. It does not expand the directory tree. So far, we've only displayed the contents of one directory at a time, but we can display the contents of multiple directories and subdirectories. To do so, we have to open new windows. To open a new window, we open the Window menu and select New Window. A new window is displayed. Notice the 2 at the end of the path name in the title bar shows that this is a copy of the East window. To display the files in the Atlanta subdirectory in this new window, we can double-click on the Atlanta folder icon in the right panel. When we do, the directory tree expands, and the right panel shows the Atlanta subdirectory contents. Our first East directory window is also still open. To see both windows at the same time, we open the Window menu and select Tile. The windows are tiled. Notice that the icons in the Atlanta window are different from the icons in the East window. This is because the icons in the East window are directory icons. The icons in the Atlanta window are file icons. We've now finished looking at the Atlanta directory window. We double-click in its control menu box to close the window. Next, we try to close the East window by double-clicking in its control menu box. But the procedure doesn't work. This is because at least one directory window must remain open as long as the File Manager window is open. To close the East window, we'd have to exit the File Manager. Now we'll show you how to use the copy command to make copies of files. We'll make an extra copy of a file named Budget on our computer. This file is located in the Office directory. We double-click on the Office directory name. The Office branch is expanded in the left panel, and the Office directory contents are displayed in the right panel of the window. Again, the Budget file is the file we want to copy, so we'll first select this file name. With our file highlighted, we can now execute our copy command. The copy command is located in the File menu. We first open the File menu and click on Copy. The Copy dialog box appears. No two files can have the same name in the same directory, so we'll use this box to give our copied file a new name. The dialog box displays the path and directory for our file, A:\office. We also see the file name we're copying from, Budget. Under the file name is a blank box labeled 2 with a blinking cursor. This is where we type our new file name, budget.new. The new extension makes it unique from the original Budget file. We press Enter to select OK. Our new file is listed, budget.new. In addition to copying files, you may also want to delete files which are no longer needed. We'll delete a file named Agenda from the disk in Drive A. The Agenda file is in a directory called Meeting. So we click on the Meeting directory name to display its contents. We see our Agenda file displayed at the top of the list. To delete a file, we first make sure the file name is highlighted. Next, we open the File menu and select the Delete command. The Delete dialog box opens. As before, we see the path name and the name of our file, Agenda. This is the file we want to delete, so we click on OK. A special Confirm File Delete dialog box is displayed. We confirm by selecting Yes. The file named Agenda has been deleted from the Meeting directory. We're finished using the files from the disk in Drive A for now, so we select C as our current drive. The directory tree for Drive C is now displayed. The File Manager also contains commands to help you work with disks. Among the most frequently used disk commands is the Format command. The Format command prepares disks to store data. Disks must be formatted before they can be used. The process of formatting a disk automatically erases any data already on that disk. Never format disks that contain information you want to keep, and don't try to format your hard disk. The disk menu contains the Format command you use to format disks. We won't take time to show you that now, but formatting disks is easy. The help screens and your manual can provide more information. You've now finished this lesson. With the skills you've learned, you'll be able to manage your files and directories more efficiently. In the next lesson, you'll learn even more sophisticated techniques to help manage your files and directories. In this lesson, you'll learn about more advanced file management skills, including how to move files to help organize them. On our computer, the File Manager is open. The directory tree for the disk in Drive A is displayed. We'll work on a directory named Office. So we display the Office directory contents. We see a few files with the extension LTR, short for letter. Several files named Sales are also listed, each with a different extension. We can organize these files by moving the letter files to the directory named Letters that branches off the root directory. As you'll see, the File Manager makes moving files from one directory to another easy. We simply drag the files to their new directory. We've already displayed the contents of the Office directory, so we can see the letters we want to move. Now we'll drag the letter file named abco.ltr from the right panel of the window. We position the abco letter file on top of the Letters directory. When we release the mouse button, a Confirm Mouse Operation dialog box appears, asking us to confirm that we want to move our file to a new directory. We select Yes, and Windows briefly displays a Moving dialog box. The ABCO file has now been moved to the Letters directory. It's no longer displayed in the Office directory. To see the ABCO file, we open the Letters directory. The ABCO file is displayed in its new location in the Letters directory. We've now moved one letter file to the Letters directory. We could repeat the process to move the rest of the letter files. We've just moved a file from one directory to another, but sometimes we want to move files from one floppy disk to another, or from a floppy disk onto our hard disk, or we might want to copy files from the hard disk to floppy disks. We can use the same dragging procedure we just demonstrated to move files from one disk to another. The help screens and your manual can provide more information if you need help with the process. We could continue to organize the files on our disk by moving the various sales files from the Office directory into a sales directory of their own. But there is no sales directory on our disk. That's not a problem. We could easily create a new sales directory using the Create Directory command on the File menu. Your Windows manual can tell you how. You've now learned fundamental file management skills, including how to move and copy files among different directories. As you've seen, organizing and using files with the File Manager is easy. But even with a good system, we sometimes forget where a specific file is located. Windows provides a tool to help search for files. It's called the Search command. The Search command can find files one at a time or several files at once, even when they're located in separate directories. To use the Search command, first open the File menu and select the Search command. Then, enter the file name you're looking for. Your manual provides more information on searching. You've seen how the Windows File Manager can help you organize and find your files. In the next lesson, you'll learn how to use Windows accessories. In this lesson, you'll learn to use the exciting accessory features of Windows, just like your own desk. The Windows desktop also offers accessories such as a clock, calendar, card file, calculator, and notepad. Like your accessories, Windows electronic accessories can make your life easier and help you work more productively. Now we'll show you some Windows accessories and how they can be used during a typical workday. We'll begin by checking our clock and calendar to review the day's appointments and tasks. We've closed the File Manager and we're ready to start using our accessories. As you might guess, the accessories are located in the Accessories group. We double-click on the icon to open the Accessories group window. A variety of accessory icons are displayed. We'll begin by selecting the clock accessory to check the time. When we double-click on the clock icon, a clock appears on our desktop. The clock shows the time and the date. The clock can display in digital format as shown here, or analog. To change the clock settings, we use the Settings menu. We select Analog, and the display changes. If we want the clock to be visible, but we don't want it to occupy too much space, we can minimize it. The clock becomes an icon on the desktop. Even though the clock is an icon, it's still running and will show the correct time and date. To close the clock, we click on the icon and the Control menu displays. Notice that we can set the clock so that it always displays on top of any other open window, so it's always visible. We click on Close and the clock closes. Next, we'll check our calendar for appointments with the Calendar accessory. We double-click on the calendar icon and the calendar opens. The calendar shows the current time, the date, and the hours of the day. There is space at the bottom of the calendar for notes. The calendar also has menus for performing a variety of tasks. We could fill in a schedule on this calendar page, but we've already filled in a sample calendar and saved it on our floppy disk. We'll open our sample calendar file now. We display the Calendar File menu. To open a calendar file, we'll select Open. When we do, the Open dialog box appears. The dialog box shows the Windows directory on the hard drive. Our calendar file is on drive A. So we click on the drop-down arrow in the Drives box. We click on drive A, and the contents of the disk in drive A are displayed. Only files with the calendar file extension .cal are displayed in the dialog box, unless we change the file typesetting. To open the file, we double-click on the file name. The calendar file name appears in the calendar title bar. We want to look at the calendar page for November 17th. To show that date, we open the Show menu and select Date. In the Show Date dialog box, we type in 11/17/93. When we press Enter, the calendar page for that date appears. We've already scheduled some appointments and entered a note at the bottom. We want to add an item for 3 o'clock on this day, so we click in the 3 o'clock line. Then we type, "Call Beth Hampton in LA." To set an alarm to remind us to make the call, we open the Alarm menu and click on Set. A bell icon displays, indicating that we've set an alarm. At 3 o'clock on this day, an alarm will sound and a message will display with the information on this line. Now we want to save our updated calendar, so we open the File menu and select Save. In addition to a daily calendar, we can also change the calendar display to view an entire month. To do so, we open the View menu and select Month. The calendar is now displayed in month format. We've marked days on the calendar to indicate appointments, trips, and so on. We can quickly switch between the day view and the month view by double-clicking on the date line. And we can scroll through calendar pages with the scroll arrows. The calendar has many other features, like printing calendar views or setting the alarm to ring a certain number of minutes before an appointment. Now we'll show you some more Windows accessories. The note in our calendar reminds us to call a representative from Western Distributors. We could look up the number for Western Distributors by hand from our business card file, but the Windows card file accessory is much faster and it's easier to use. To begin, we'll minimize our calendar so that it's handy, but out of the way. Now we'll open the card file accessory. We double-click on the card file icon and the card file window opens. As with the calendar, we could create and enter data in a new card file. But we want to open a card file we've already created, containing the phone number for Western Distributors. We display the File menu and select Open. The Open dialog box appears again, showing the Windows directory. We switch to Drive A. In this dialog box, files with the card file extension .crd are displayed. This is the file we want. We double-click on the file name and the card file is opened. Each card has a name at the top and contains whatever information we've added. Our card file also tells us how many cards we have in the file. Again, we want the number for Western Distributors. However, our card file is organized by people's names, and we can't remember the name of the person at Western Distributors that we should call. This isn't a problem. To find the name, we can use the card file search feature. We open the card file search menu and select Find. In the Find dialog box, we type the name we're looking for, Western. We can type the name in upper or lower case. To find the next occurrence of Western in the card file, we select the Find Next button by pressing Enter. Now to close the dialog box, we can click on the Cancel button or press the Escape key. We press Escape. The dialog box closes, and the card file displays the Western Distributors card. Western, the word we searched for, is highlighted. We see that our contact person is Patricia Banks. We also see a map indicating the location of Western Distributors. Card file cards can include both text and graphics. We're now ready to make our call. After our call, we might want to use the card file accessory again, so we'll set the card file aside on the desktop as an icon to keep it handy. We click on the card file Minimize button. Let's assume we've made our call. The person we called, Patricia Banks, gave us some cost information that we want to calculate. To do this, we'll use the Calculator accessory. We double-click on the calculator icon, and the calculator appears. It's just like a standard desk calculator, but we can change the display with the View menu. This view is the standard calculator, as shown by the check mark. We can also display a scientific calculator. When we click on Scientific, it displays as a scientific calculator. We want the standard calculator, so we change the view back to standard. Now we'll multiply the figures Patricia gave us. 43 times 85%. We can enter numbers with the number keys on the keyboard, or we can use the mouse. We'll use the mouse. We enter 43, the asterisk for the multiplication sign, and 85%. The result is displayed. We want to make a note of the phone call with this calculator result in our notepad. We want to see the calculator total on our desktop and have room for a notepad, so we'll move the calculator out of the way. We move the calculator by dragging it to the top of the screen. Now we'll open the notepad accessory with the notepad icon. We double-click on the icon and the notepad window opens. We could simply type text in the notepad work area and then save it as a notepad file, but we'll open a phone log notepad file we've already created. We open the notepad file menu and select Open. In the dialog box, we select Drive A. Windows notepad files use the extension TXT for text. We want to open the phone file, so we double-click on it. We already have one call logged. Notice that the current date and time are automatically typed. When we created this file, we typed a period and the word log at the top. Now, every time we open the file, the current date and time are automatically typed in. This makes logging quick and easy. We type in a note about our call. Now we could just type in our calculator result, but we'll show you how to copy calculator information and paste it into a file in another program. To copy the number displayed in the calculator, we open the Calculator Edit menu and select Copy. Then we click in the notepad where we want the number to go. We open the Notepad Edit menu and select Paste. The number is pasted in. To finish this sentence, we type a period. Then we press Enter to move to the next line, so we're ready to log our next call. Finally, we open the Notepad File menu and select Save to save our file. We're done with our accessories now, so we'll close them. We double-click on the Notepad Control menu box and then do the same with the calculator. We display the Card File Control menu and select Close. We do the same thing with the calendar. To close the Accessories group window, we can simply click on the Minimize button. Windows accessories are handy tools that can help you accomplish tasks quickly right from your desktop. You've now finished this lesson, and you've finished this module on Windows 3.1, Intermediate and Advanced Skills, and you're ready to work with the powerful and easy-to-use features of Windows 3.1.